Happy Halloweeny! It's Halloween again. You're dressed in the outfits that tell people what you do. You don't necessarily dress tonight in outfits that tell people who you are. Big difference. I came dressed in my Halloween costume. I'm a 66-year-old gray-haired grandmother. I'm an author, I'm a writer, and all of us are here together tonight. The grandmother, the author, the writer, the speaker, the workshop facilitator. The author part of me wrote The Tao of the Defiant Woman and Tao Girls Rule. And I wrote those two books, the second for teen and preteen girls, because I was having one heck of a time getting through the aging process. That was the biggie transition for me. I didn't want birthdays. I so didn't want birthdays that I would run away every year on the B-Day. I would go to places where they had no idea that it was my B-Day. I would make my husband, both of them, not at the same time, I would make my husband go to the mailbox, starting 3 weeks before the big day. And the B there doesn't stand for big day. And get all the cards. I asked people, I pleaded with them, please, 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 please don't send me a card. I know you care, I know you like me, that's very sweet. It's nice to be loved. I don't want to be reminded of this horrible, horrible day. Yeah, sounds nuts, doesn't it? And one day I went to visit a friend who was celebrating her then 60th birthday. She's probably 3 years older than I am. And I went with balloons. I went with a birthday cake. I went with a card. I went with love. I went with hugs and kisses and wishes for a wonderful birthday. And I said, how do you do this? How do you celebrate your birthday? You're old. And she said, got a proposition for you, CJ. She said, you're a writer. Go out and talk to women. Find out what it is that they do that allows them to not only accept their birthdays, but be happy with them. And find out what other women have the same hang-ups that you have, and find out why. And together, work it out and figure out this thing called aging. And then while you're at it, write a book. Sure. I went out and I met with women. We met in small, little, intimate groups. Small, little. My editor would never let me get away with that. We met in intimate living rooms, salons. We met in all weekend workshops. We discussed this thing called aging. And while we were at it, we discussed all the other transitions and challenges that we as women face in our culture today. And I learned the big secret of accepting this thing called aging. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Mm-hmm. Ready.
Accept. So where were you when I needed you?
I joined the Red Hat Society.
Is that it? I don't look good in red. Except for my boots. Accept. And I decided to write a book called The Tao of Aging. Why Tao? Because Tao is a Chinese philosophy of acceptance. The Tao teaches us that we're all part of the universe. And as such, we accept the changes, the challenges, the transitions. We are the only living beings on this earth that think we can control life. It doesn't happen, does it? When we fight against it, it just brings pain. I went to my publisher, she said, you don't use the word aging. It turns people off. Well, excuse me, but this is what I had just come out of. So we called it The Tao of the Defiant Woman. Defiant. Wow. I like the alliteration, don't you? Tao, defiant, doo-doo. But defiant is such a strong word, and how does it balance against the serenity of Tao? Well, let me go a little into Tao. some of the principles of the Tao. One is Zuran, Tzujan, Zuran, of itself so. Life happens of itself so. Things happen. Stuff happens. Put in a 4-letter word there if you want. Whether we ask for it or not. There are some challenges and transitions that we've asked for. There are some that just hit us, they blindside us. Everything's going along really well and walk. There's another challenge. There's another transition. That's Zuran. It happens. Wu Wei says you can't force it to not be what it is. Animals, plants, everything else, like I said before, but we, as human beings, accept what happens. And they forge ahead. We're the ones who try to change it all. We're the ones who say, no, he won't divorce me, or I'll pretend he didn't divorce me, or... That's Wu Wei. You have to accept. And then we have the yin and the yang. Right? You know, the little circle. Think about a black and white cookie for a second. That's the yin and the yang. The seemingly opposites of life. The dark, the light, the happy, the sad, the up, the down. You know what? They're not opposites. They require each other. They complement each other. If you picture the symbol, in the black side there's a little white circle, and the white side there's a little black circle. The circle is a unity, and the complementary colors show that, I mean, how do we know up if there wasn't down? How do we know sad if there wasn't happy? How do we know beautiful if there wasn't ugly? And the principle of Taoism that's most important for me to discuss with you tonight is day. T-E. Have a nice day. Day is the quality of being the best you that you can be. Day teaches us to accept and be proud of our accomplishments and our strengths. Day teaches us to forgive ourselves our weaknesses. Day teaches us to not compare ourselves to others. Because when we do that, don't we tend to compare our weaker attributes to their stronger attributes? And tell me how you come out smiling when you do that. Day says, take what you have and use it for all it's worth. Defiant. Another aside, when I wrote the girls' book, I could not call it the Tao with the Defiant T. Nobody would buy it. Except maybe the girls. Defiant. Now, when I was neglecting to celebrate my birthday, by the way, June 20th, they accept cards. 1944. Okay, defiant. When I was not celebrating my birthdays, when I was trying to pretend I wasn't getting older, and it wasn't working anyway because I became a grandmother. When all this was happening, I was denying, not defying. Defying means defying stereotypes. Defying means defying negative behaviors and self-defeating attitudes. Defying means defying anything that's going to keep you from day, being your best self. Let's go back to you're wearing costumes of what you do, which is not necessarily who you are. When I was going through, I was going to say my first divorce, my only divorce, because we shoot each other if it doesn't work out this time. When I was going through that, I had a friend who asked me, well, CJ, who are you? I'm Yada's wife. Not. I'm David and Donna's mother. I'm Sydney and Lenore's daughter. Right? That still didn't tell anyone or me who I am. Who am I? I'm a woman who likes to stand in front of people and talk and enjoys when I get a chuckle or two. Who most loves being with her grandchildren and hopefully being a positive role model for them. I'm a woman with some sort of a sense of humor. I'm a woman who loves and likes and who is, boy am I lucky, loved and liked. I'm a woman who wants to encourage other women and teens to be their best selves. Now I'm starting to get it. Who are you? Who are you when you go through all the transitions and challenges of life? They're everywhere, you know. In our relationships, in our bodies. Think about this for a minute. Who are you? When you're not wearing your hats and your baskets and your don't have your camera with you. And is there anything, something, that's holding you back from being the best you that you can be? What was holding me back was my fear of getting older. I learned to defy that. I'm getting older and having fun and staying as vital and active as I could. I had to learn to drop my fear of aging. I had to let that go to allow myself to grow into the CJ that's standing here in front of you, who will continue to grow, I hope, and pray until I take my last breath. Let's pretend. Let's pretend there's a river. It's sure raining enough out there, isn't it? It's coming from back there where the exit sign is. It's seeping through that door. And it's coming around, and it's going around and circling around every table. Every one of you are on the riverbank. Even you back there. And the water's going out that door. It's the river of day. It's the river that allows you to drop into the old water and get rid of something, anything, that might be holding you back from being the best you that you can be. And then, because now you have an empty spot, right? Now we have the fresh water coming in, and we can replenish with something that's going to help us be the best we can be. What I would really like you to do now, really like you to do, is picture the water running in front of you. So close your eyes, please. I would like to see you actually, really and truly throw that negative attitude, that negativity into the water. And then I want to see you take something healing from the fresh waters. This is an exercise that you can do anywhere. Well, maybe not in Trader Joe's, but you can do this whenever you need something uplifting. As Dr. Seuss so eloquently said, "Today you are you that is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you." So enjoy your costumes and enjoy that which you do. But remember, what you do is not who you are. Who you are is unique and special And aren't you lucky for that? Thank you.